I remember Prabhu Deva, who completely died on my show. Bala Sahab, like I remember asking him, sir, I want to ask you a question. He said, go ahead. I said, are you a fascist? I looked around and I had the tendency of looking around. The producers were falling all of the channel were tearing their head. He said, your set's going to be burned down.
Sir, you were being told the Amitabh Bachchan of the small screen. If I'm not mistaken, I also read that you were paid a very handsome amount for Movers and Shakers. And
initially, I was stupid enough, and I used to resist. I never liked the fact that I was being called Amitabh Bachchan. I said I have my own identity, and I'm trying to carve a niche for myself. And I realized how stupid I was.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Pink Villa's Past Perfect. Today's episode is very special. Usually we have 2-3 guests who we talk to about the popular shows of the 90s and the 2000s. But this time we have only one celebrity, and let me tell you, he was a one-man army. His chat show was one of the most popular when it began in 1997, and he's with us today to talk about the iconic Movers and Shakers. Shekhar Suman. Shekhar sir, welcome to Pink Villa.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir, you began Movers and Shakers in 1997 when chat shows was not a very popular format in India. It was very unheard of. Of course, it was very popular in the West, but in India, it wasn't something that people looked up to for television. So I want to understand, where did the inspiration behind Movers and Shakers come from?
I think I was greatly inspired by R.K. Lakshman's The Common Man. And we used to see this little strip on the front page of Times of India while we were all growing up. And he was sort of a mute witness to the societal changes of the political climate, etc. And he would come up with one-liners and, just say a few things, of course, in his head.
Yes.
And those were very interesting comments, scathing comments, hard-hitting comments with a dash of wit. Yeah. And all of us loved it. I mean, so many times I would not understand. I'll go to my father and I said, what does this mean? And he would explain it to me. And I thought that was such an interesting thing to have. And I said, what if this man gets a voice? What if this common man gets a voice and he starts talking about things and he becomes a common man's representative.
Yeah.
And that's how the idea was born. So, Sony was looking for a show. They contacted me and they said, would you do a show for us? And I said, what? He said, you decide. So I sat and I said, this is vaguely what I have in my head. So if it can be given a shape, and I said, how does this work? So I said, I really don't know. I want to have a dialogue with the audience I have been associated with for a long time. And it's going to be a tete-a-tete, a sort of a very casual chat with them. And let me see where it goes. So he says, Han, how do you plan to do it? And I said, I haven't the biggest idea. Now, let's assemble it. Let's put it all together. Now, at that point of time, I had no idea about Letterman or Leno or Carson or now Jimmy Kimmel, all of them who have come now. Sure. So I had no idea of the format. As a matter of fact, when I started performing, a lot of people said that it's like Leno, Letterman. Then I looked him up and I said, oh my God. Yeah, but it's like reading news. Reading news all over the world is pretty much the same. You sit behind the desk and you talk. So, the format of a late night show is basically, it's persona driven.
So, there were guests like Shah Rukh Khan, there was Kiran Bedi, there was Vilasarao Deshmukh. If you have to, pick one or two guests who were your favorite, who you enjoyed interviewing, who was it?
Loads of them. I think Allah Rakha ji, Ustad Allah Rakha, Zakir Hussain Sahab, Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, Shah Rukh, Govinda, a whole lot of these people, and Kiran Bedi, yes, of course, Sushma Swaraj, Chhagan Bhujbal, Pramod Mahajan.
Yes.
All of them pretty much, they were very, very interesting. I remember Prabhu Deva, who completely died on my show. So I thought that this term that we used, died on the show, and he says, once the show was over, all the ADs, etc., he said, sir, he died on your show. What they meant was that, it just came a cropper, that it did not work and you tried very hard, but the guy would not respond to anything. He's such a sweet guy. And I thought with Prabhu Deva, I'm going to have loads of fun. Yeah. And it so happened that intermittently, what would happen that if I expected somebody to be so good, he would more often than not die on the show. And if I expected somebody to be okay, he turned out to be the big surprise on the show.
Yeah.
So Prabhu Deva, I expected a lot, but I kept talking, and after like a long prologue and prologue and a long sort of spiel, I would ask him a question, and his answer would be yes, or his answer would be no, I don't know, I think so, I guess so. That was it. And I said, how do I interview this guy? Because and there were producers from behind saying he's dying on the show, up it. I said, what do I start? Do I start hitting him? Do I start doing like breakdancing with him? What do I do? So eventually I said, look, nothing is working out, Prabhu. What are you best at? And he said, breakdancing, sir. I said, do some crazy stuff. So he put his shirt up, he held in his mouth like that, and he started moving his abs.
Wow.
They look like 6, 8, 10 abs going up and down, like making ripples and waves. So I thought this will save the show, and this will save the interview, and that did. But great fun. I think I spoke to thousands of people. I remember, but one of my greatest moments also was talking to Balasaheb Thackeray. But that, of course, was Simply Shekhar, an extension of Movers and Shakers was done on Zee TV. Then talking to Dev Saab, talking to Sanjay Dutt, a lot of people who were very interesting on the show.
So why would you consider these conversations so important? Anything particular with Balasaheb Thackeray that you remember, or anything particular with Dev Saab that you remember?
I think their ability to be honest, the fact that they were so frank and they would not mince words. Balasaheb, like I remember asking him, sir, I want to ask you a question. He said, go ahead. I said, are you a fascist? I looked around, and I had the tendency of looking around. The producers were falling all of the channel were tearing their head. He said, your set's going to be burnt down. And I would always sort of say, relax, nothing will happen. So he looked at me very sternly. I mean, I must agree in my candidness. In that moment, I shat and I said, did I ask him the right question? I said, are you a fascist? And he looked at me and he said, yes, I am a fascist. That's what I liked about it. That moment was, he just killed it. So, with even Pramod Mahajan, I said, before your career ends up in doldrums, would you get up and play the drums? So he said, but I don't know how to play the drums. I said, you're not even good at politics when you started. So give it a shot. So he went and, he played the drums, and they were pretty sporting. Yeah. Like Chhagan Bhujbal was a great Dada Sahab, Bhagwan Dada fan. So I said, I believe that you do his steps very well. He said, Shekhar, the camera is on. I'm a politician. I'm the deputy CM. So I said, well, deputy CMs don't dance, or they just make others dance. What? So, you make others dance around your little finger. How about dancing yourself? So he said, no, please spare me. I said, the camera is on till you don't dance. The camera will be on. I'll be here standing and waiting for you. You have to shake a leg. And then he looked at me very sheepishly. He said, okay, I guess I have no choice. And then he started doing it. So they were great moments. Kiran Bedi, who was I think a traffic cop then, big shit that in Delhi, and she was known as Crane Bedi because she used to pick up cars from Connaught Place and tow them away. And so when she came on my show, and the show was about 2-3 years old, and I had interviewed many people, and I said, what is the first thing that you would want to do now that you come in your show? So she looked at me very sternly and she said, the first thing I'd like to do is pick you up, Mr. Suman. You have been parked here for too long.
Sir, you were being told the Amitabh Bachchan of the small screen. If I'm not mistaken, I also read that you were paid a very handsome amount for Movers and Shakers. And and so, if I'm not mistaken, even our former Prime Minister, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, met you at a function, and he paid you a compliment for your
He stopped his cavalcade. I mean, I should have hung my boots. He saw me from far. And while they were moving out, he stopped his car, and everybody thought that Chhagan Bhujbal ji was standing next to me. Probably he wanted to talk to him. He stopped. He got out of the car, and he had knee problem. Yet he moved about 10 feet this side. And then he came and he hugged me. I said, oh my God, do I look like Chhagan Bhujbal? He said, I've been wanting to meet you, son. And he patted me. I still remember. That's the most cherished moment of my life. He patted me on my cheek and said, "I love you. What you do. I record my show. I record your show and I watch it every evening. Keep it up. You have my blessings." He says, I mean, he was the man who never took umbrage or he was never slighted anything. I mean, I used to take off on him. I used to do his impressions and stuff like that. But he was so happy. He said, my foster daughter, Gunu, she records the show for me and I watch it every day. And
Wow.
are you still impersonating me? I said, yes, sir, your blessings. I'm doing it, but I have the greatest regard for you. I have a lot of reverence for you. And see, you're not just a statesman. You are a fantastic human being and you're a great poet and a great writer. And that's what I like. One of the greatest compliment that time was that one of the journalists wrote, he said, can imagine the popularity of the show that I took a train in Churchgate and till Borivali or wherever he went. He said from 10:10 to 10:30, all the houses were playing Movers and Shakers while I traveled, and the same music and stuff. So that was a great thing. And then, of course, what you talked about the Amitabh Bachchan bit of it, and initially I was stupid enough and I used to resist. I never liked the fact that I was being called Amitabh Bachchan. I said I have my own identity and I'm trying to carve a niche for myself. And I realized how stupid I was. I mean, I was getting the greatest compliment. Amitabh Bachchan is synonymous with anything that's the best in the world,
I
and
agree.
best in everything. So everybody was trying to give me a compliment, and I'm extremely apologetic about the fact that sometimes I thought people were getting on my nerves calling me that, and I got angry. But my sincere apologies to all of them. I think that was one of the greatest compliments that I got. And as far as you have said the remuneration was concerned, let that be a guess till I breathe my last.
I know Movers and Shakers is in the works, but so when does it? I mean, when do you plan to take it live, and when do you start shooting for it?
Well, if we all survive, with the different variants of corona hitting us from all sides, and so we don't know. But yes, if we survive, then very soon. Now the big question is, where do I come? I mean, do I come on a general entertainment channel? I come on an OTT platform? What do I do, or should I call people home and perform for them? I would love to do that.
It will be a house full, literally.
My house would be full, and anybody's house would be full in Bombay. You know how the houses are. It would be full with 5 people. So yes, so it all depends. It's in the pipeline. It seems very interesting, but things have changed. Over the years. There was a time when I could get away with Blue Murder. Things are not so cool now. There's a bit of intolerance, and there is monster called the social media where trolling happens no matter what you say, and everybody has an opinion, and they would say this is not right, that was not right. Even that time, I think people had opinion, but they had no place to go, no place to vent their feeling. So I got away with Blue Murder, but people remember it very fondly.
Like I said, right in the beginning, I've been a huge fan of you, sir. I've been a huge fan of the show, and we can't wait to see another season of Movers and Shakers once again.
Touche. Amen to that.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, sir. This was lovely conversation. Thank you once again for taking out the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.